Welcome. Today, we're diving into an important topic, the difference between paper GMP and real GMP. We'll explore key lessons learned from DEG and EG contamination cases, uncovering what really matters when it comes to good manufacturing practices. Let's get started. Let's talk about what real good manufacturing practice, or GMP, looks like in action. It's a system where procedures match what actually happens on the floor. People understand why controls matter. Risks aren't just spotted after the fact, they're identified early. Suppliers are constantly monitored, and critical materials get the right testing. Data is reliable and up to date. When something goes wrong, investigations dig deep. And management responds to quality issues, not just paperwork. This is what separates real GMP from paper GMP, which often focuses more on documents than on true quality. Let's walk through the critical supply chain pathway where contamination risks can emerge. From the supplier, through manufacturing and repacking, to warehousing, quality control, and finally dispensing, every step matters. Diethylene glycol and ethylene glycol, or DEG and EG, are toxic substances linked to contaminated pharmaceutical liquids, especially oral and pediatric products. High-risk ingredients like glycerin, propylene glycol, and sorbitol need close scrutiny. The World Health Organization has flagged multiple contamination events and urges manufacturers to tighten controls on these vulnerable materials. When it comes to pharmaceutical excipients, the WHO's 2025 GMP guidance pushes us beyond simple paperwork. It's not just about ticking boxes. Real good manufacturing practice means digging deeper, assessing risk, verifying the actual manufacturer, mapping the supply chain, and continuously monitoring quality. Take a supplier change for propylene glycol. Paper GMP might stop at a certificate of analysis and procurement approval. But real GMP demands a full risk assessment, technical agreements, and ongoing quality checks. This slide shows how thorough supplier qualification really needs to be. Let's look at an analytical example focused on gas chromatography-based testing. There are several potential methods, like GCFID, which stands for gas chromatography with flame ionization detection, and other validated techniques fit for the purpose. The World Health Organization's 2025 excipient GMP guidance highlights GCFID and HPLC-RID as options to consider. Take glycerin as an example. Routine controls cover identification, assay, appearance, and other pharmacopoeial requirements. Now, contrast paper GMP with real GMP. Paper GMP might accept a supplier's certificate of analysis at face value, calling the material acceptable. Real GMP digs deeper. It asks if the supplier is qualified, if the material is authentic, if the container is intact, and if the batch is traceable. It questions the reliability of the COA, whether sampling is representative, if critical impurities are controlled, and if the testing strategy matches the risk. This approach ensures quality beyond just paperwork. When it comes to real GMP controls, sampling isn't just a box to check. We look at the number of containers, how critical the material is, and the supplier's track record. We consider risks like contamination, how uniform the material is, and whether the containers are intact. The sampling method itself, plus all regulatory requirements, come into play. Paper GMP might say, a sampling procedure exists. Real GMP asks, can our plan actually catch the risk? For example, if one contaminated drum is missed because only one container was sampled, the whole batch could slip through. Let's talk about data integrity, a cornerstone of good manufacturing practice. The first result we get is the data itself. Running a repeat test doesn't erase or replace that original result. The World Health Organization makes this clear. Processes must be defined, validated, reviewed, and documented to prevent risks that can't just be caught by testing the final product. A real GMP lab goes beyond just repeating tests. It verifies methods, analysts, instruments, and standards. It checks raw data, audit trails, and investigates out-of-spec results. This is the difference between paper GMP, where tests are done, results entered, and batches released, and real GMP, where every step is scrutinized to ensure true data integrity. When something goes wrong, like a quality issue from a new supplier, we need a solid plan to fix it. That's where CAPA comes in. It's not just about retraining or revising procedures. We have to suspend the supplier if needed, requalify the source, strengthen change controls, and add high-risk assessments. We review past batches and verify the effectiveness of our actions. Real GMP means digging deep, from root cause analysis to supplier investigation, all the way through to checking if our fixes really work. Without this, we risk missing the true problem. When we talk about real GMP culture, it's about more than just following procedures. Each team asks critical questions. Production wants to know if the process is truly under control. Quality control asks if the data can be trusted. QA focuses on whether risks are managed properly. Procurement checks if suppliers are qualified. Warehouse ensures material identity and status are secure. And management asks if failures could happen again. This culture means employees speak up without fear. Decisions rely on solid evidence, and quality always comes first, no exceptions. It's a mindset, not just a checklist. The World Health Organization and the UN Office on Drugs and Crime have flagged a serious issue: the integrity of the pharmaceutical excipient supply chain. Sometimes, toxic industrial chemicals like DEG or EG get substituted for safe, pharmaceutical-grade ingredients. In 2025, India faced this head-on when contaminated medicines were identified and reported. Good manufacturing practice isn't about perfect paperwork. It's about preventing harm to patients. To do that, we need a strong prevention model, starting with supplier qualification and ending with market surveillance. Every step matters to break the chain that leads to patient exposure. Let's talk about the 10 golden rules that take us from just having paper GMP, good manufacturing practices on paper, to real, effective GMP in action. First, don't confuse documentation with true compliance. It's not enough to have records. The system has to work. Qualify your suppliers and supply chain carefully. Treat high-risk materials with the respect they deserve. Don't blindly trust supplier certificates. Use smart, science-based testing. Protect your lab data's integrity. Investigate deviations thoroughly. Make corrective actions measurable and systemic. Keep complete traceability from material to batch. And always put patient safety first, above production, procurement, or commercial pressures. This is how real GMP proves itself. If you found this training valuable, there are a few simple ways to show your support. Please like the video. It helps us know we're on the right track. Leave a comment and tell us, what's the biggest difference you've seen between paper GMP and real GMP? Share this with your colleagues in QA, QC, production, regulatory, procurement, and supply chain. Follow Siphacos and subscribe to the channel to stay connected with the latest in pharmaceutical quality, GMP, and regulatory compliance. Thanks for joining us today. If you need any more support or have questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. We appreciate your time and attention. Thank you.